So, let me tell you about the time I babysat a group of wild and rambunctious children. I mean, these kids were like tiny tornadoes, tearing through the house like they were on a mission to destroy everything in their path. I walked in and immediately knew I was in for a wild ride. The oldest one, let's call him Timmy, was bouncing off the walls like he had just chugged a gallon of Red Bull. He was running around, jumping on the furniture and screaming at the top of his lungs. And that was just the beginning. Then there was little Susie, the daredevil of the group. She was climbing up on the kitchen counter, trying to reach the cookies on the top shelf. I swear that girl had no fear. I had to practically pry her off the counter and distract her with some crayons just to keep her from breaking her neck. And let's not forget about Tommy, the troublemaker. He was the one who thought it would be a great idea to turn the living room into a makeshift wrestling ring. I walked in to find him and Timmy going at it, throwing pillows and jumping off the couch like they were in some kind of WWE match. I had to break it up before someone got seriously injured. But the real kicker was little Jenny, the pint-sized princess of the group. She had decided that she was going to be the director of the chaos, bossing everyone around and demanding that they all play her favorite game. Of course, her favorite game involved running around the house like maniacs and screaming at the top of their lungs. It was like a scene out of Lord of the Flies, but with juice boxes and stuffed animals. I tried my best to corral these little monsters, but it was like herding cats. Every time I thought I had one under control, another one would pop up doing something even more outrageous. It was like they were feeding off each other's energy, egging each other on to be even more wild and crazy. At one point, I had to resort to bribery just to get them to sit still for 5 minutes. I promised them all the candy they could eat if they would just calm down and watch a movie. And let me tell you, that was the quietest 5 minutes of the entire night. They were all so focused on stuffing their faces with candy that they didn't even notice the movie playing in the background. But of course, that peace didn't last long. As soon as the sugar rush started, they were back to their wild ways, running around, screaming, and causing general mayhem wherever they went. It was like trying to contain a pack of wild animals in a tiny suburban living room. By the time their parents came home, I was exhausted. I had never been so happy to see a group of kids leave my sight. But as they were getting ready to go, little Susie tugged on my sleeve and whispered in my ear, "Can we do this again tomorrow?" And you know what? Despite all the chaos and craziness, I couldn't help but smile and say yes. Because as wild and rambunctious as those kids were, they sure knew how to keep things interesting.